Right now at 10, and no more flights to the Twin Cities. Delta announces a suspension of service at La Crosse Regional Airport. And crews are battling a fire on the south side of Madison that could contain hazardous materials. Plus, breaking barriers. An Arcadia student leader leading her robotics team is hoping to inspire more girls to study STEM.
Watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozorowski. We will get to all those stories in just a bit, but first, the region has to prepare for winter weather conditions. And for the latest, we send it over to Bill.
Yeah, and today it was spring. Thunderstorms and rainfall and unfortunately severe weather. Now, fortunately for us, most of the severe weather stayed to our south. We had a handful of large hail reports in our viewing area, but the tornadic storms stayed to our south across Iowa and into Illinois. Even far southern Wisconsin saw some confirmed tornadoes as well. That activity is now shifted well to our east, but look what's happening now. We still have some rain showers scattered about, but look at the blue west of Eau Claire and up towards the Twin Cities. That is the rain changing over to snow, and this process will continue from northwest to southeast through the overnight, and it could come down at a pretty good clip to the north and west of La Crosse. That's where blizzard warnings are in play from Mankato up through the Twin Cities, and it does include northern parts of our viewing area, Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls, a winter storm warning south of there, and then a winter weather advisory for the La Crosse area where snow totals will be much lower. 41 now in La Crosse, so still rain showers here. 34 though in Eau Claire and 33 in the Twin Cities where that changeover is occurring. So rain to snow from northwest to southeast overnight. Windy as well, and that's going to cause some blowing snow. Lows in La Crosse around 30 degrees. I will let you know how much snow to expect overnight and early tomorrow with my 8-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Bill. Back on the news side of things this evening, La Crosse City officials confirmed Delta Airlines is suspending flights to MSP Airport from the La Crosse Airport beginning in early June. According to an official release, Delta's ongoing pilot shortage is forcing the company to make service cuts. The last Delta flight will be June 4th. La Crosse Regional Airport will continue flights to Chicago O'Hare and host private plan operators. Crews are battling a fire on the southern side of Madison that may be burning hazardous materials. The Madison Fire Department is asking people nearby to close their doors and windows and stay inside. Crews from our sister station in Madison report smelling smoke from miles away and feeling heat from about a quarter of a mile away. The cause of this fire unknown at this time. The Wisconsin Supreme Court race is the most expensive in U.S. history, and outside Daniel Kelly supporters are now outpacing Janet Protasewicz backers in ad spending during this final stretch. The Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce Issues Mobilization Council is being especially active, producing ads that paint the Milwaukee Circuit Judge Protasewicz as soft on crime. One ad about Protasewicz's handling of a 2019 rape case says the victim was left for dead after her attack, and Protasewicz ignored her pleas in court.
He raped a military veteran, left her for dead, just 2.5 years.
Now, the victim identified herself as Emily to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel and says the ad is re-traumatizing and inaccurate. Emily told the outlet she was not left for dead after her attack and that Protasewicz did listen to her in court. In that case, the man was charged with second-degree sexual assault by use of force, but pleaded no contest to third degree, which had a max of 5 years in prison and 5 years supervision. Emily told the court no one should be defined by the worst moment of their life and did not ask for the man to go to prison. Protasewicz handed down 2.5 years in prison with 2.5 supervision. And Emily told the outlet she was, quote, 100% satisfied with the sentence. Now, there are cases where Protasewicz's sentences have been criticized by parties involved. The conservative Washington Free Beacon highlights a 2016 case where a man was charged with battery and as a repeat offender could have been sentenced to up to 10 years. Protasewicz allowed a 6-month plea deal to go through. Less than a year later, the same man shot a gun 19 times at the woman he had previously beaten, and that guns striking her 3 times. Now, he is now serving 40 years for intentional homicide. The woman reportedly told the outlet the man should have had a harsher sentence for that battery charge. There are also ads from Protasewicz's side that can play loose with wording at times. Her official campaign ads claim Kelly would uphold the state's abortion ban, citing a major pro-life group's endorsement of Kelly and a New York Times column that contends the ban will stay in place if Kelly wins. Now, Kelly himself has not said he would uphold the ban. In the meantime, security preparations are underway in Lower Manhattan ahead of former President Trump's arraignment next week. Sources tell CBS News the grand jury voted to indict him on more than 24 counts. Bradley Blackburn has the details on the upcoming proceedings.
Former President Donald Trump is expected to surrender to authorities in New York on Tuesday, following his indictment by a Manhattan grand jury. There will be no plea deal, according to his attorney.
This is a case that would not have been brought against another individual in this country if his name wasn't Donald Trump.
CBS News has learned Trump will not be handcuffed, but will have his fingerprints and mugshot taken just before the arraignment. Sources say the indictment could include about 30 counts related to the alleged falsification of records involving hush money payments made to Stormy Daniels in 2016.
Paying hush money is not illegal. Falsifying business records is.
Columbia Law School professor John Coffey expects the trial to begin before the end of this year.
I suspect that Trump is going to try to postpone this trial until after the primaries. I think that will get a lot of resistance from the prosecution, and it denies the voters some fundamental information.
On Tuesday, more than 100 Secret Service agents will be working with other members of law enforcement as Trump travels here to the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse for the proceedings.
A lone wolf who is not bragging on social media that he's going to do this or going to do that. It's the unknown that's always a great concern.
Trump's possible primary opponents are strongly defending him.
The unprecedented indictment of a former president of the United States for a campaign finance issue is an outrage.
Trump is expected to return to Mar-a-Lago after Tuesday's arraignment. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Trump spent part of today posting social media attacks against Democrats and the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Bragg responded to Republicans who are claiming the investigation is politically motivated, calling the claims, quote, baseless and inflammatory. Closer to home, a Tacoma man accused of attempted first-degree intentional homicide pleaded not guilty in court today. 43-year-old Dennis Joseph Balaban also entered the plea for other charges related to the case, including felony aggravated battery and multiple felony THC charges. Balaban was arrested last November after police say they found a 58-year-old man with a stab wound in his chest. That man survived. The status hearing is scheduled for May 8th. A Social Security trustees report says checks will get smaller in 2034 if Congress doesn't step in now. The report says the combined Social Security trust funds, which help support payouts, will run dry that year. The program's continuing income will only cover 80% of benefits owed. Roughly 66 million Americans got Social Security benefits last year. The root of the issue is the aging of the American population. Fewer workers are paying into the program, and beneficiaries are living longer with an increasingly expensive healthcare system. A new parking ramp fee structure begins on Monday in La Crosse. Instead of having the first hour free during daytime hours, those parking in ramps will pay $1 per hour for every hour. There's an $8 maximum. Parking is still free during overnight hours and on weekends. After the break, an Arcadia student is breaking into STEM. We'll catch up with a high schooler hoping to make waves in science and tech. And from GET to NYC, a high school a cappella group is hitting the national competition stage in the Big Apple, but they need your help getting there.
I'm going for Judge Janet
Protasewicz? You don't need to know how to say Protasewicz to know that Judge Janet believes in abortion rights, fairness, and public safety.
Protasewicz.
Morning. Hardee's 2 for $5 mix and match breakfast starts your day with made-from-scratch sausage and egg biscuits, biscuit and gravy, or sweet cinnamon roll. Pick any two, just $5. My rewards members get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
This time of year has many different names. We call it Showtime. It's when there's work to be done and fun to be had. Plus, it's time for spring bonus offers at your Northland Ford dealers, where you can save big on a Ford truck to make it all happen. Start the season off right with 0.9% financing for 60 months, plus $3,500 in total savings on Ford F-150 XLT. It's showtime. Now for a limited time only, get 0.9% financing for 60 months, plus $3,500 in total savings on Ford F-150 XLT. Only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Sit on this, sit on that, sit on this, hey, sit on that, sit on this, sit on that. Hey!
King Furniture has thousands of items in stock and ready for immediate delivery. You can see it, buy it, and enjoy your new furniture in your home today.
Sit on this, sit on that.
It's the Hardee's Star Deal Combo. Get a Hardee's Charbroiled Double Cheeseburger, crispy 3-piece hand-breaded chicken tenders, or original hot ham and cheese with a small fry and drink for just $5.99. My Rewards members get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
Extremist Dan Kelly wants abortion banned, even in cases of rape and the health of the mother. Kelly will uphold Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban that strips women of their freedom to make personal decisions on abortion.
Women's History Month celebrates the achievements and contributions women have made. And on the last day of Women's History Month, News 8 Now's Dua Israr introduces us to an Arcadia junior who's making sure women break through in a male-dominated field.
All the preparation happens here, but all of the action happens there.
80, 85, 31, you're on 3. The fans inside this arena aren't here for a sporting event. The players on the field are straight out of The Terminator.
125-pound robots, and the kids are carrying them on and off of the field.
45, it's time for Seven Rivers Regional's annual robotics competition.
They get the dimensions, and they need to know the task it needs to complete, and they get 6 weeks to build before they start competing against each other.
54 teams from all over the Midwest are competing to make it to the playoffs. Is it okay with you guys if I recap the plan? One contestant is here to prove a point.
Okay, right in front of you on 6.
Brianna Ruiz is a junior at Arcadia High School and part of the Trempealeau County Robots.
For a cube, go for a cube, go for a cube. Since freshman year, I was taking a lot of engineering classes through Western Technical College.
She's also an engineer extraordinaire.
Actually, I was the first woman, not only woman, first person of color and first person in general from Trempealeau County to get a CSWA certification.
With 4 certifications under her belt, Ruiz is already breaking glass ceilings.
I was able to achieve and get an internship at Ashley Automation Center. I am currently the only girl, unfortunately, but hopefully those numbers will change as more women go into the field.
Achievements are worth celebrating, but Ruiz says they have an extra special meaning when they can also bring change.
Being able to have that representation there, be like, oh, I'm Hispanic too, or I'm of color, oh, there's a woman here. Like, it's just so much support.
Ruiz hopes her passion and determination inspires other girls to join STEM programs.
We get held back a lot because we're told that it's not our field, when in reality, it's just like any other career and we should be as involved as anyone else.
Reporting in La Crosse, Dua Israr, News 8 Now.
Thanks, Dua. Ruiz is done with her high school classes, but she can't graduate early. So she'll be taking classes at UW Stout next year as a senior in high school. You can watch her and her team compete tomorrow as well. Well, a small-town high school group is getting the chance to compete in the biggest city in the U.S., and they're asking for help getting to the stage. GET High School's Vocal Point a cappella group is getting ready to head to a national competition in NYC. Vocal Point took first place at the ICHSA Great Lakes semifinals and will be going head-to-head with other leading high school groups from across the country. The group's director says small-town tenacity is helping them get to the top spots.
We just don't settle. We always are wanting to be better and do better all of the time, and it's really cool to say that a small town kind of group like this can compete against some very big schools.
One student says it would be a big win to place in the top 3, but the trip itself is a celebration of their hard work.
But other than that, just a chill experience to bond with the group and recognize our accomplishments would be a really ideal trip.
But the group needs help funding the trip. Their director estimates the cost at $15,000 to get the students to New York. They're taking donations both online and by check sent to the school. We'll post donation information on news8000.com. Still ahead, multiple tornadoes spawned from storms reaching from the Midwest to southern states. Residents of Little Rock, Arkansas are left cleaning up from what weather officials called a catastrophic tornado.
Yeah, and this just a massive storm system. You can see that swirl up near our neck of the woods, but the associated front all the way down into Texas. So a lot of folks saw, unfortunately, severe weather. Now our attention turns to snowfall overnight around here. I'll have the details of my 8-day forecast up next.
It's the Hy-Vee Mega Meat Sale this Friday through Sunday. Ground beef, just $2.98 for a 1-pound roll. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve Filet Mignon, just $7.99. And Hy-Vee chicken drumsticks or thighs, only $1.18 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
It's time to power up at Drury's in Fountain. Kick back, relax, and enjoy the comfort that power brings to your new recliner, sofa, or sectional, on sale now. And if it's powered up, there's even 1-year special financing and free delivery. At Drury's, you'll find recliners with power to soothe and relax, plus sofas and love seats, even sectionals, that let you customize a shape to fit your space. Great sale prices, 1-year special financing, and free delivery for a limited time only at Drury's in Fountain.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Don't miss the Hy-Vee Mega Meat Sale this Friday through Sunday. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve New York strips, just $5.99. 8-ounce pork chops, 3 for just $5. And Wild Alaska Dungeness crab clusters, only $9.99 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
20th Annual Early Bird Home Show. Lowest prices of the year on 2023 projects. Only at the Board Store Home Improvements. 524 Copeland Avenue, La Crosse. Get started today.
A large storm system spun up tornadoes all across the South and Midwest. This is video from Hedrick, Iowa, in the southeast part of the state. Tornadoes were reportedly spotted in at least 3 Iowa counties. And farther south in Little Rock, Arkansas, a large tornado left a path of damage and at least 24 people are reported hospitalized. The National Weather Service called the tornado catastrophic and had to send its North Little Rock staff into a tornado shelter. And in the small community of Rui, Wisconsin, in Iowa County, residents are cleaning up after a storm brought down a building at a lumber yard. Debris is covering fields nearby, but the town's fire chief says there are no reports of houses damaged right now. But Bill, your maps earlier in our newscast at 5 and 6 kind of showcased that so many parts of the nation were dealing with some version of severe weather today.
And when you see images like that, it makes what happened around here not seem so bad at all, and that was the case, although we did have a couple of large hail reports, upwards of $1/4 to $half size in a few isolated locations. Heavy rainfall though, especially for this time of year, 1 to 2 inches of rainfall for many, and a lot of that running off because of cold ground, especially to the north. So rising river levels, that is, you'll want to keep an eye on, especially the Black River and the Yellow River as well, and that Mississippi will continue to gradually rise over the next several weeks as not only this rain makes its way down the river channels, but also the spring snow melt continues. Can you tell it's been a long day for me? The tongue and the mouth and the brain not really focusing on each other right now. Bear with me. 46 the high today. 53 is our average high, 83 and 5 the records. And look at this, 1.28 inches of rainfall out at the La Crosse Airport. That is a record amount for March 31st. For the airport. So there you go. 41 degrees, cloudy sky both at the airport and downtown. The Mississippi rising close to 7 feet. Expect that trend to continue. And in Eau Claire, 34 degrees with some light snow now falling, and the Chippewa River is holding steady. So current temperatures show the battle between the spring conditions to the south and the winter conditions to the north. That is why we have the severe weather in that boundary or battle zone in between. So now the colder air is starting to filter in from northwest to southeast across the region. And look at these winds just all over the place around an area of low pressure, very strong area of low pressure. In fact, gusts upwards of 40+ miles per hour over parts of Iowa. So there's the low. All of the severe weather and strong storms are now well to our east. Now it's time for a return to winter overnight as blue starting to take over the radar, and that trend is going from northwest to southeast, and it will continue overnight with rain changing to snow. In fact, blizzard warnings from South Dakota through Minnesota, western Wisconsin. It does include Eau Claire in the Chippewa Valley. Winter storm warnings just south of there. Winter weather advisories around La Crosse, where the snowfall totals will be quite light, generally maybe an inch or two or less. And then those totals really creep up, especially as you head to the north and west of Eau Claire over towards the Twin Cities. So if you have travel plans overnight or even early tomorrow in these areas, it could be difficult, not only with the snow falling and the snow that's on the roads, but the wind rearranging and blowing that snow around as well. So Sky Tracker shows that snow in earnest after midnight to the north and west of La Crosse, and then it gradually pivots south and east, but kind of weakens as it does. That's why the snow totals will be much less to the south and east and near La Crosse, and then clearing skies as we head into tomorrow afternoon, but kind of a blustery Saturday with chilly temperatures and again, those winds continuing to blow. 30 degrees tonight, rain to snow from northwest to southeast, windy, causing that blowing snow and even those blizzard conditions potentially up to the north. 42 tomorrow with snow showers ending in the morning, otherwise windy and cooler. Nice rebound for Sunday and Monday, highs in the 50s. Then another storm system brings a chance of showers, maybe some thunderstorms on Tuesday and Tuesday night. Might mix with some snow showers on Wednesday, and another wind producer as well with that storm system. And then back in the 50s on Friday and Saturday. Gotta love spring.
Yeah.
In the upper Midwest for sure, right?
I think you've earned a relaxing night on your birthday.
I'll take it. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Bill, thanks very much.
You bet.
Coming up next in sports, the Brewers are calling up a top prospect to try and help them bounce back after a rough opening day. And the T-Wolves taking on LeBron and the Lakers tonight. Cade's up next.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Whether you need routine care or specialty care, Mayo Clinic Health System offers the best options for care where and when you and your family needs it.
I won't write your will.
I don't write contracts.
I won't handle your divorce.
I do know a few things about personal injury law.
All I do is help injured people get the compensation they deserve.
At Bygoff and Rohde, that's how we get results.
Come to Slumberland and get 20% off our beautiful new furniture and decor during our Spring Spruce Up event. Plus extra discounts on recliners, patios, Sealy mattresses, and sectionals. Get an extra 20% off right now at Slumberland Furniture.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you.
So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
He brutally raped her, repeatedly.
I spent endless nights plagued by nightmares. My bedroom door was barricaded. I was so afraid.
But Judge Protasiewicz ignored her pleas, let the rapist off easy, and now he's back on the streets.
When you don't know where your attacker is, then he is everywhere. He is every sound in the night.
Tell Judge Protasiewicz, stop failing victims and stop protecting criminals.
Sleeping in pain or too hot? Come to Slumberland and get 20% off mattresses. Find your perfect mattress with our easy rating system and save big. Get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $4.99. Only at Slumberland.
I've practiced personal injury law for 4 years.
For 20 years.
For 32 years.
All I do every day
is help injured people get the compensation that they deserve.
At Bygoff and Rohde, that's how we get results.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Here's News 8 Now's Cade Overton.
Wet start. A lot of high school baseball and softball games scheduled for today have been postponed, including opening day down at Copeland Park. La Crosse Central was supposed to take on West Salem, both teams' first game of the year, but this one, like many others across the area, is going to have to wait as well. But keep your eye on the weather as it's looking a little grim. Central is set to have their new season opener at Copeland on Monday. Now, we did get a couple of girls high school soccer games in this morning at UWL. La Crosse Central starting the season with an 8-0 win over Melman, and Onalaska with a 1-0 win over River Falls. NBA action tonight, Timberwolves hosting the Lakers first quarter. And how about Jaden McDaniels faking out LeBron James with ease? He lays it in, Wolves up early. Second quarter now, Wolves down 3, but Karl Anthony Towns in transition buries the three-pointer. We're all tied up. Second half now, Minnesota trying to stay in it, and Terrion Prince hits a big three. That brings Minnesota within 7, but the Timberwolves couldn't find another gear in the fourth quarter, and LeBron James gets the last laugh. 123-111, the final. Bucks didn't even come close to beating the Celtics last night, but they're still at the top of the East. They'll have to bounce back in a big-time game against the Philadelphia 76ers at home for a big Sunday night matchup. Should be a fun one, so look out for it. It's award season for college basketball, and Marquette's head coach Shaka Smart is bringing home some hardware. Smart was named AP Coach of the Year for men's basketball, and it's very deserved. Going into the season, Marquette was picked to finish 9th out of 11 teams in the preseason Big East coaches poll, but instead the Golden Eagles had the best regular season the team's ever had. They won the regular season title, then they beat Xavier to win their first Big East tournament championship. The Madison, Wisconsin native is just the second Marquette coach to win Coach of the Year, but you'd have to go back to 1971 when the legendary Al McGuire won it, part of his Hall of Fame career. And speaking of coaches, Wisconsin men's hockey has a new man in charge, and it's a good one. Mike Hastings is leaving Minnesota State Mankato to coach the Badgers. Hastings was in Mankato for 11 years, leading his squad to 8 NCAA tournament appearances, and Hastings said that he is thrilled to start a new journey with the Badgers. Looking ahead to this weekend, the Brewers are back in action for game number 2 of the season. Now, they came up a little short yesterday, but it's game 1 of the season. Let's not think too hard about it. Brandon Woodruff is on the mound for his first outing of the season. He'll be up against Justin Steele, of course, in Wrigley. First pitch is set for 1:20 p.m. And for the Twins, they started the season with a 2-0 win over the Royals down in KC. A great outing by newcomer Pablo Lopez and the entire bullpen as they held KC to just 2 hits all day. Game 2 for the Twins is set for 3:10 p.m. at Kauffman Stadium. Sonny Gray will be on the mound, and they'll be taking on Jordan Lyles for KC. Also tomorrow, right here on CBS, it's the men's Final Four. First game of the evening, the Cinderella story, Florida Atlantic taking on San Diego State down in Houston. Both teams making their first Final Four appearance, but only one can win. Tip time is set for 5:09. And then at 7:50, the University of Miami will make their first Final Four game debut against UConn. Nobody's been able to predict the NCAA tournament to this point, so it truly is up for grabs, and any one of these teams has a chance at winning it all. And tonight was the NCAA Women's Final Four. In Game 1, it was LSU who beat Virginia Tech, and then in Game 2, my alma mater, the University of Iowa, trying to hold on for a big upset over South Carolina, so I got to go catch the end of that one. We'll be right back.
Taco John's crispy fried chicken taco is as good as it gets. But if creamy, hatch chili-filled queso makes everything better, is this taco too good? You be the judge.
Try 2 new queso fried chicken tacos for $6 at Taco John's.
During Markdown Madness at Dahl Auto, choose from over 700 vehicles at 6 Dahl dealerships. Then make no payments until June. Plus, sell or trade your old car to get an extra $500 over book value. This month only at Dahl Auto.
Sheriffs like us from around the state are supporting Daniel Kelly for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Justice Kelly's opponent, Janet Protasiewicz, is a Milwaukee County judge with a long history of letting dangerous criminals back into our streets.
Directly undermining the work of our officers and putting your family at risk. We can't afford to have judges who put their own agendas above the law. It's time we start prioritizing justice again, not politics.
Vote Daniel Kelly for Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Begin planning your springtime project with Menards. Get a free estimate with our Design and Buy program. Use our interactive tools to create and modify detailed, personalized designs for your home. With Design and Buy, your options are limitless. Start planning your projects now using Design and Buy, in-store or online today. Crestone retaining wall blocks are one of many options to choose from and are only $125 each after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
A man brutally attacked and sexually assaulted a woman. The victim spent endless nights unable to sleep, plagued by nightmares. Judge Janet Protasewicz called the offender many females' worst nightmare, but she cut his sentence to only 2.5 years in prison. Judge Janet's dangerous judgment puts our families at risk. That's why sheriffs throughout Wisconsin support Dan Kelly. He's the only candidate we can trust to keep violent felons off our streets. On April 4th, vote Justice Dan Kelly. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Selling your car yourself can take weeks. Selling to an online reseller takes days. Selling your car to Dahl Auto takes 30 minutes. And you'll get an extra $500 over book value. Dahl Auto. Simple.
Shake up how you wake up with a bolder breakfast at Taco John's. Hit snooze on the same old, and bite into crispy potato olays, bacon, and nacho cheese. It's always a good day for nacho cheese.
Get 2 mean potato breakfast burritos for just $6, only at Taco John's.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Brookfield Zoo in Illinois is celebrating some new arrivals. A baby squirrel monkey was born earlier this month and is now out hanging with the rest of the family. It's firmly attached to its mom, Gizmo. Now, this is her 6th baby. Squirrel monkeys are native to South America and are one of the smallest species, weighing about a pound. The zoo is also welcoming 2 cotton-top tamarin monkeys, a critically endangered species. 12-year-old Sebastian and his mate 8-year-old Cassidy are settling into their new habitat. Great to see. We'll be right back.
Ashley's anniversary mattress sale is going on now. Celebrate decades of restful nights with incredible value on Ashley Sleep mattresses. And for a limited time, receive a free adjustable base upgrade with the purchase of an Ashley Sleep Align mattress set, only at Ashley.
Firefighters Credit Union now has credit cards. I know what some of you are thinking. The money man has sold his soul to the devil. Well, not quite. Unlike the big credit card issuers, we don't want you to pay interest. We don't want you to pay late fees. We don't want you to pay over the limit fees. We want you to use our card. If you use it correctly, you'll never pay a dime, and we'll pay you to use it. Are you intrigued? Give us a call and find out more today.
On abortion rights, do you want extremist Dan Kelly holding the gavel? Kelly wants abortion banned even in cases of rape, incest, and the health of the mother. He'll uphold the 1849 criminal abortion law that allows doctors and nurses to be jailed for performing abortions. And he'll strip women of their freedom to make their own decision on abortion. So don't give Dan Kelly a gavel with your vote. He's just too extreme.
This time of year has many different names. We call it Showtime. It's when there's work to be done and fun to be had. Plus, it's time for spring bonus offers at your Northland Ford dealers, where you can save big on a Ford truck to make it all happen. Start the season off right with 0.9% financing for 60 months, plus $3,500 in total savings on Ford F-150 XLT. It's showtime. Now for a limited time only, get 0.9% financing for 60 months, plus $3,500 in total savings on Ford F-150 XLT. Only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Honey, where are the kids?
I put them in the furnace so I could figure out why we don't have any heat.
You did what?
Maybe it's that loose wire.
Maybe it's that plug vent.
Maybe it's the bad igniter.
Maybe it's a dirty flame sensor.
Or maybe...
Why don't we just call G&T Heating and Air Conditioning?
Quality you can count on, experience you can trust.
With over 50 years of combined experience, G&T services residential and commercial customers within 50 miles of West Salem.
This year at Ashley's anniversary sale, we were able to secure a more affordable price on the same great quality as before, and we're passing those savings on to you. And bonus savings on outdoor furniture. Plus, we're offering 5 years special financing only at Ashley.
Well, from spring and summer-like severe weather, thunderstorms to winter snow and wind. Snow moving in from the north and west as that changeover occurs. And again, especially those winter storm-warned and blizzard-warned areas. Watch those roads overnight and tomorrow morning. Several inches of snow up there, blowing snow as well.
All right, stay safe out there. Thank you, Bill, and thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend, everybody.